Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Friday afternoon. Hope you're okay, hope you're looking after yourself, and I hope you're enjoying a tad bit more of a sun out there. It's a little bit nicer. Just to give you an update on sort of today's videos, we do have obviously the one that I'm talking in right now, at least one more, but potentially not one tonight because I'm not in tonight, so I'm going to go out for a bit. So potentially might not be there. In terms of this video, we do have some really interesting quotes from Tom Barkley around kind of the January transfer window that we can expect going forward. Got some more from Paul O'Keefe on that, and as well as an update around Jota from Al Ittihad and his situation. So we'll definitely talk about that as well. Obviously, if you're new, hit me with a subscribe. Very much appreciate that. And a like if you fancy being really generous. But let's jump in. And I'm going to start with Tom Barkley's quotes. And he comes from the Sun, obviously. That's where Tom Barkley is. And I don't think he said anything that's going to make you sit there and go, oh, I hate him, he's this, that and the other. Because he put out and said that Spurs will have to get creative in the January transfer market as they're not flush with cash. Wouldn't be surprised to see another loan with an obligation a la Porro Kulusevski. A centre-back would be the most likely addition. Now, I thought this as well. I don't see Spurs going out there and spending 6 million on a player outright, right? I see us maybe going, hey, we would like this guy on loan. Here's 5-6 million for the 6-month loan period. We'll obviously take his wages on, and then we're going to give you X in the summer, right? It's that kind of style. What it does have an issue though going forward. So instead of January being a transfer market window where we go and spend that money, we then delay it to the summer, and then the summer takes the hit in terms of how much money we're going to spend. See Kulusevski, see Porro, see Romero the season before. It's just like a revolving door of always playing catch up to our transfers, and it always puts such pressure on our financial fair play from a summer perspective that had we not had to spend the money, in theory, let's say on just a Porro this summer, there's an extra 40 million there that we maybe have gotten an extra centre half, or maybe we would have held it off till January to spend that 40 million on, a couple of players. That, we'll see what I mean, that kind of style. Instead, because we've spent, was it like 25 million on Kulusevski and then 38 or 8 million or whatever on Pedro Porro, we're looking at being 63 million down, 65 million pounds down already in the summer before we've even brought anyone new in. The way you could also look at it is if we did get someone, let's say it was a Kubo, right? Or a Lloyd Kelly. Let's go Lloyd Kelly. We say to Bournemouth, here's 5 million for the loan deal. We'll give you 15, actually not Lloyd Kelly because he's out of contract. Let's go Kubo. Here you go. Here's 10 million for the loan deal. We'll take his wages. I know his release clause is 50 million euros. Let's do a deal in the summer for 35 and 15 million add-ons, that kind of style. What you do gain from that is, I've talked about it in other videos, you get 6 months. Yes, you spent £10 million on, but you've got 6 months of development leading into a pre-season where he's going to get even more development, ready to rock and roll for the season coming afterwards. You see Porro really came on because of that. Like, he's been fantastic this season. I mean, Spurs fans having this, real vendetta on getting Emerson Royal on the team, I just don't get. You're wrong, I'm going to tell you that first and foremost. But, Kulusevski, had it not been for injuries and obviously turmoil and so many things went wrong last season, he would have really come on and developed. Look at Bentancur, was probably our best player last season before the injury. So it's one of those things where you kind of go, yeah, but look how much development they're going to get within this, let's say, 8 to 9 month window of playing through the season, then pre-season into the real thing. It can work, but at the same time, I don't want to be playing catch-up all the time on transfers, What Paul O'Keefe said was, it's a nonsense certain press keeps spouting no money. Tottenham rarely spend vast amounts on single chances anyway. It really doesn't matter. It's about the talent, ID, and above absolutely everything else. And I truly get that. And we've talked about how Ange wants to have a phone call before, a player signs, because he wants to sort of work out, one, is he a good person? Is he a nice guy? And is he going to fit in well with what I have here through personality-wise? Second of all, is he wanting to desperately get to Spurs, or is he just wanting to desperately get out of his club? Because he said, if it's desperately get out of your club, we don't want you at Spurs. We want people that are coming here who are desperate to play at Tottenham, which I truly rate. And I'd rather, instead of a guy who's like a near enough world-class player coming in, but, he's using you as a stepping stone, I want people that, you know, like a James Maddison came in and gone, I really wanted to play at Tottenham. You can see the difference in person, that they're willing to run that extra couple of yards. They're willing to dive in a couple of times for challenges, not in a bad way, but you get what I mean. He's willing to put his feet into places that, you know, people wouldn't want to go near. I think that really shows through these two quotes. I think it's really important to remember that, you know. So I do see Spurs making a couple of moves. I don't see Spurs spending 50, 60 million. I can see him spending maybe 20 million and then a loan deal with an obligation to buy for the summer. Kind of like what they did with Bentancur and Kulusevski. We signed Bentancur, and then in the summer, or whenever I think it was the summer after, we completed on Kulusevski, right? Bentancur was like 18, 19 million pounds. So you see how that works. By the way, that's a steal. Fabio Paratici, you're a legend for that. Let's talk on Jota. Obviously, Jota playing in the Saudi League. He moved from Celtic when working with Ange last season. And it said, this came from Daily Record, that said that Jota will be allowed to leave Al Ittihad on loan in January by new boss Marcelo Gallardo, or Gallardo, however you want to say it, with the winger said to be, quote, regretting his £25 million switch from Celtic. A loan deal. Spurs not wanting to get creative. Don't have a ton of cash. You can kind of start to see a ball rolling there and start to put two and two together. Look, he's on decent money. I would say that. And I talked about Ruben Neves and how Ruben Neves is on good money that Spurs won't pay. Now, Spurs, I doubt, will want to take all of his wages on. I very much doubt that, because I don't know exactly how much he's on, but I expect it to be like 150 to 200, somewhere in there, right? For a guy who played in Scotland last season, you're not going to, you know, you don't go to Scotland, buy a player and go, here's 150 grand a week. Not in a Euro Premier League, you know, system, or Serie A, Bundesliga, La Liga, or you know, the Liga or whatever. Saudi obviously a bit different, but we wouldn't do that. So we might say, look, he's on 150. We'll take on 80, because you could probably see that. And the thing is, he's Ange's guy. Ange knows him. He doesn't need that phone call to kind of say, oh, let me check your personality. He might still want to have a conversation, but he doesn't need to do sort of as many background checks, right? So I can kind of see Spurs being in the Jota market. I can see him being in the Ilian Junior market and, Antonio Nusa market. Nico Williams to a degree, but that'll kind of be one of those that we're sort of tagging along at the back to kind of see what's happening. You know, do people fall away and us kind of run through and steal it, you know? I can see many more things being prevalent, but I can kind of see the defender being the one that we buy and the winger being the one that we loan with an obligation, maybe. That's the kind of way I'm going to see it. But to be honest, if he's on 150 grand a week, he's going to have to come and take a pay cut to be at Spurs, which I think he probably would, because he's going to be on more than he was at Celtic, and he's going to be in the Premier League. Could be something that's quite good. He's probably going to be really, really desperate to kind of show off his ability, you know? But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section below around the two quotes from Tom Barkley and Paul O'Keefe around the January transfer market. Do you see us maybe buying one and loaning with an obligation like I do? What do you see? I wanted to know what you think. Obviously, give me a shout on Jota. Would he be someone that you want on loan for the rest of the season? See what you think about that. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the bell notification for more, because I do have another video. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.